Scott, it was during an exclusive radio interview I did with Abraham Zapruder in Dallas in 1966 that he described in chilling detail the images he saw unfold in the viewfinder of his 8mm camera. Now, once I later got to see a screening of the film, I realized that if I could get a copy of it, I could synchronize a portion of my Zapruder interview with the film to give it his voice. Now, after some 40 years of trying, I finally made a deal with the 6th Floor Museum in Dealey Plaza. I donated my original recording in exchange for the museum granting us permission to show history's most iconic home movie, this time narrated by the man who shot it. I must caution you that the film is quite graphic.
The images are seared in America's collective consciousness, whether you lived through it at the time or are one of the more than 60 million who weren't born in 1963. The visual images of a young president being brutally murdered endure as a deeply personal experience. Abraham Zapruder, a 58-year-old dress manufacturer, forgot to bring his camera that day, but his secretary convinced him to go back home to get it, arguing, "When are you going to get another chance to film the president?" He checked out 3 spots before finally positioning himself in the lower left corner of this grassy knoll in front of the Texas School Book Depository building. It was a perfect vantage point to film the presidential motorcade.
I saw the motorcycles, then the car approached, and Jacqueline and the president were waving, and as it came in line with my camera, I heard a shot. I saw the president lean over to Jacqueline, then the second shot came. And then I realized I saw his head open up, and I started yelling, "They killed him, they killed him." And I continued shooting until he went under the underpass. It's left in my mind like a wound that heals up, but yet there's some pain left as to what has happened.
The film sequence runs 26 seconds, but in the years afterward it has gone through thousands of hours of frame-by-frame scrutiny and has been the centerpiece of every official investigation. The Warren Commission relied on it to answer questions about how the shooting happened. The film has also served to fuel many of the conspiracy theories. The Bell & Howell camera is now in the Dallas Museum. A new camera the company gave Zapruder was never used. He told me he could not again put his eye to the viewfinder because it simply rekindled all the images of that awful Friday in November.
The film runs 26.6 seconds. The audio portion of my radio interview ran about 33 seconds. With some tight editing of pauses, we made it fit. In 1999, the government paid the Zapruder family $16 million for the original 8mm film. That's more than $615,000 per second. It is now in the National Archives. That same year, the family turned over the licensing rights to the 6th Floor Museum in Dealey Plaza, where my radio interview and this report are now part of the permanent archives of the JFK assassination. As for Abraham Zapruder, he died of cancer in 1970. A quiet, unassuming man who never expected to be immortalized by a moment in history, which his images have frozen in time. If you want to see this report again and read my full account of that meeting, check out our website, pix11.com. Scott?